Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up tonight, pressure on government to revert to GCnet and West Blue to manage port transactions. We'll be hearing from former Energy Minister Aboagye-Wiafe, who has been speaking about the challenges with the new system, Unipass. Also, the Ghana Union of Traders Association is speaking out as importers are being made to bear demurrage and rent costs because of the Unipass challenges. Tonight in the bulletin as well, Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana seeking flexible stimulus package, especially for rural farmers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Darryl Kwa. We've got the details right after this break. Tonight, former Energy Minister Aboagye-Wiafe is calling on government to revert to GCnet and West Blue to manage port transactions. He was responding to current challenges with the implementation of the new integrated customs management system, Unipass. Listen to what he told Joy Business after the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade and Industry visited the port.
About this transition from GCnet to Unipass. The process that was a single source process that basically broke all the rules. And after it was done, even in the face of obvious reports that the system was not fit for purpose, it was going to not only help the government lose revenue, it was going to bring hardship to traders. This government, as usual, God its own pride, refused to listen to reason. Today, this is the result. They tell us the Minister of Trade was here 3 days and told and gave them up to yesterday that the system will be rectified. They are still curious. We are in COVID, a period where we do everything to avoid crowding and avoid stress and people lining up. Have you seen the congestion of traders just trying to pay their duties? They are spending 24 hours here. Some of them has been here since Monday. They has not even been able to go. The system is not working. This government might basically put away its unnecessary pride and accept that the steps they've taken has not been working and bring GCnet, West Blue, then continue with the work. So the people of Ghana, traders who are going through so much and risk their lives will not go through that. It is not working. It's obvious it is not working.
Well, it's been 4 days since the new customs management system was enforced at the Tema port. Now, freight forwarders and clearing agents are not impressed with the system. Now, listen to what some of them told us.
For how many days now, duties have not been paid, revenues have not been raised. Sometimes when you go to some of the, sometimes when you go to the offices, their systems are not working. They will be angry with you.
However, you listen to it. It's even proposed that government brings to even work
alongside. You see,
proposal
and another thing.
Calling for solution.
Another thing, this is that the contract has been abrogated. The judgment of over $250 million. Who is going to pay for it? Who is going to pay that money? It is the same taxpayer that is going to pay that money. So we are pleading with them to listen to us. Please, we are not animals. We are the main stakeholders. All importers, please listen to me. All importers, get up. Aboso Kai's papers, Kumasi, everybody everybody should get up and speak.
You see, we paid duties in a GCNet system. Now GCNet is off. It doesn't even reflect in Unipa. So how do you expect us to work? How do you expect us to work? And now, we should think about the client. The person who is importing food, he's bringing the jobs, he's bringing revenue. So if we can't hold this, we can't resolve this. That's what boss was saying. We're not trying to say that, oh, at least they should repass GCNet. But now, GCNet has started. The first thing we're supposed to do is, as soon as possible, we should find a solution. Since Monday, people have paid their duties on Friday, on Thursday. Now they cannot even work. Why? Why is that? At least we should find solutions to everything as soon as possible, so that the clients can be okay, I will be okay, the country will be okay. Because this one is not about politics. It's not about NDC, it's not about MP. It's about the whole country. Because when you pay a duty in the system, it goes to the government. The government uses the duty to at least build the nation. And we are not fighting only for our own benefits. No, we are fighting for the nation. So as we are fighting for the nation, our cry should go out there, they should listen to our cry, and then do something about it. Because listen, everybody is frustrated. Everybody is frustrated. Because now, it's more or less I am delaying. Because the importer doesn't know that Unipass is not working, or Unipass has a problem. The importer knows he has given you money to work, and you need to deliver. Whether the system is not working or the system is not working, delivery is his problem. And if delivery is not done, then I'm losing. I am losing. If delivery is not done, I am losing. So please, as soon as possible, where the solution can be done, the solution should be done. Then at least we all have our peace, we all can work, we all can build this country to the highest level.
Freight forwarders and clearing agents frustrated there. I can also tell you that traders are frustrated. In fact, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is also speaking out about the transitional arrangements of the Unipass system at the ports. Now, speaking to Joy Business, President of the association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, told Joy Business the Unipass system is fraught with challenges that cause delay, which eventually cost the importer in terms of demurrage and rent charges.
We are not against any system that government want to introduce. So far as government think that is going to enhance on its revenue collection, and then also bring efficiency in the operations at the port and the clearing systems and all that. And this is what we were told, and that we also sought to know that if it is not going to bring any transitional problems for which we were assured. The fact that they were doing the pilot projects and all that have been communicated to us, that they are doing the pilot projects in other areas and all that. So we were thinking that we are going to have a smooth transition at the port, having gone through all these things. But if you recall, this thing started and then they put a hold, and then it has been reintroduced, and then for the first few days it's creating some delays. And this is what we come in to appeal to government to find out whatever the problem is, to ratify it so that we can do our business in time. Because the delays cost us a lot in terms of demurrage payments and then the rent charges as well. And especially when it is not our fault, the problems that is being created, then we will ask who bears the cost. Who bears the cost? Is it us or government or what authority? That's what we are trying to avoid, that whatever problem it is, it should be solved so that we do not get there. Because if this problem persists into next week, it means that those new goods that are coming are also going to compound with what is happening this week and all that. It means that the problem is going to be very big. So the earlier we solve it, the better, so that we do not create any problem. What I do not understand is that this thing is becoming perennial. Anytime that we are migrating into new system, this thing happens. What lessons are we learning? From time immemorial, this is what has been happening. And so this particular one, we try to seek if this thing is not going to reoccur. And we knew that pilot programs have been established and all that. So this is the least that we are expecting to happen. And so we plead with the authorities in charge to be very proactive on this and try to curb the situation.
You're watching Business Live. Let's turn to oil now, and prices of the petroleum product would go up by as much as 14% per litre by the close of this week. That's according to the chief executive of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, Aboagye-Wiafe. The move is in line with the bi-weekly review in prices at the pumps. Mr. Aboagye-Wiafe tells Joy Business the current market conditions will make it difficult not to adjust prices.
When the regulator says do it, 1st June you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, this boss thing, 3 pesos to 6 pesos, and you do it like 10th June, in the regulator's books, you are supposed to start for 1st June. It means you have to pay the difference. You understand? Because this one is accessible for consumers to pay. So you have to comply so that you will not be in default.
So why haven't I seen price per litre go up at the service stations if this margin has been applied?
Basically, are you sure that? Because I've seen some stations who have done that.
Maybe the big players haven't done that.
Well, I'm sure they will go to the press very soon. Because it's not only the boss margin which has gone up.
Oh,
that's what the regulator
communicated.
Because
what
it's
else
a new
has
one.
gone up?
As part of the parameters, we've got the SREF. The SREF for the BTs has gone up significantly. In fact, it's hovering between 35 and 40%, for PMS and for petrol and diesel, from between the last window and this window. So we need to factor that one in as well. So if you put it all together, because there's a deregulation, people are priced anyhow. The minimum percentage increase will be like 14%.
14% per litre.
Per litre.
That is huge.
Yeah. And we have been struggling with the pricing from the BDCs, So it's been something. Some of the OMCs have not even gone up, even though the price has gone up, because they are struggling how to price in such a way that they will not go the same quantum. You understand? Because so that the price goes up like this, and they want to make sure that at least they get something. Because forgetting that when the COVID was on, in lockdown, our volumes went down. But then the price was also going down. Now, the price is turning around. So as we are coming up, we need to show up our working capital. But the question is, where do you get working capital? The one you sold last time when the prices were low, it was so low that you didn't have enough. And the volumes are already gone down. Now, anytime there's a price increase, volume automatically goes down for a short period, short run. So it's trying to price now with the high prices versus volume. So that's the OMC is in that dilemma. That's why you're not seeing the price going up. But within the window, they will respond.
This week it will happen.
They'll respond.
Well, so any increment in fuel prices would obviously affect food prices. But for the month of June, Agri Profiling and Service Organization ISOCO is projecting a mixed outlook for prices, with some more lower prices for food items. Francis A.J. Danso is content manager for ISOCO. He earlier spoke to me on the marketplace.
Gradually, we are approaching the harvest season for a lot of the commodities that are traded on the local markets. And so once we do that, traders want to prepare by moving out the old stock and then preparing for the new ones that will be coming. And so that is how come we are predicting that there is going to be a mixed we are going to have prices trading mixed in the month of June. And the ones that experience some drop in prices in the month of May, we are expecting that they will then experience some significant reduction in prices in the month of June as well.
Okay. For the latest inflation rate announced by the Ghana Statistical Service, we saw the highest in 8 months, and that was based on the fact that we had been through a lockdown that affected so many things. You don't think that could have an impact on the pricing in June as well, as we begin to experience the fallout of the lockdown?
I think that the post-COVID period is quite interesting. You realize that now a lot of the measures and restrictions have been eased, and so people are trying to pick and go about their normal business. And so for trading activities, we expect that it wouldn't have a lot of influence on pricing because of the way the situation has been for some time now. We've been in this eased mood in terms of trading activities for over a month. And so we expect that the normal things that happen around the month of June will continue. We are not expecting any serious changes in the circumstances that affect the price. Okay,
so this should be some good news for the public, for people who will be shopping this month. So also responded to calls from the Food and Agriculture Organization for an investigation into why food prices are shooting up despite sustained supply.
Two, food prices, we don't price commodities in a vacuum, and so things that affect trade will also affect pricing. And so there is a logistics bit, there is a storage bit, and then there is the interest, or how much a trader will also want to get a bit of the whole mix to be able to price a commodity. But during the COVID period, we realized that initially there was panic as to what to expect. And so people went in buying things that they did not need, which means that ordinarily supply for a certain period is being consumed within a very short time.
Right.
We were also out of the harvesting season, so we were relying on stock that we already had. There was this logistic bit of it, because when the lockdown came for some parts of the country, movements were restricted, which affected businesses as well. And then there is the storage bit. Now you realize that markets are being decentralized because of social distancing. And so ordinarily, where people could store their goods, they are being changed, and so they will have to find new ways of storing. All these are going to be added cost to the trader, and they will in turn pass it on to the consumer. So yes, prices are rising because of some of these things, but I think that it presents us with a situation where we need to also look at the underlying causes. How are our commodities traded, and how do we store them? All this in a bit to make sure that we do not face a situation that we are facing now in the near future.
Well, still related to food matters, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has called on government to make their access to its stimulus package flexible for farmers, especially in the rural areas, as most of them do not have the required tax identification number to access the package. They made this call during a training program for over 300 agric extension officers in 36 districts across the country, which is aimed at extending COVID-19 education to farmers in rural areas. Correspondent Anas Sabir has more in this report.
The start of the COVID-19 pandemic, farmers face various issues in order to continue feeding both the rural and urban population. Whilst health authorities continue to call on the people to stay home as much as possible as a key way of stopping the spread of the pandemic, peasant farmers continue to risk their lives just to provide food to the working class. With little or no knowledge on how to stay safe, this group continue to remain vulnerable. To tackle this worrying situation, The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is training over 300 agric extension officers in 36 districts in order to carry out COVID-19 education to farmers. Mr. Charles Nyaba is the head of programs and advocacy at PFAG.
We realize that smallholder farmers are more vulnerable because these people are situated in the rural areas. They don't have access to television, they don't have access to social media. So our fear is that if we don't begin to educate them, and the event that the sickness spread to them, what we will get will be more than what we are experiencing in US and other places. So we then decided to carry out this project to educate extension officers. You know, they are the teachers of the farmers. They have the ability to go to the rural areas and pass this information to them. So we are hoping that after they are properly educated, they will also go to disseminate the same information to them.
Municipal Director of Agriculture for Techiman, Mr. James Adu, calls on government to include the training of agric extension officers in its plan, as the move will put them in pole position to address questions raised by farmers on the field.
And I think COVID-19 is one of the cross-cutting issues. And what helps is that, you see, we go to the remote areas because of the nature of our work. So if our extension officers are educated and they are resourced, they can reach out more to the rural folks than any other person, because that is where we work.
With regards to government's stimulus package, Mr. Nyaba is afraid most farmers cannot access the package due to its requirements.
Recently, there is a credit facility for small-scale businesses to support them to remain businesses. The conditions on the which to get that facility, smallholder farmers will not be able to meet those conditions. For instance, you need to register your business. You need to have a TIN number. Most smallholder farmers don't register their businesses. They don't have TIN numbers, so it means automatically they are out of businesses. Meanwhile, these are the core who provide food for all of us. So we think that in that area, government need to find a way of making it flexible for them to be able to access that credit.
Daniel Nyando is an agric extension officer. For him, the absence of personal protective equipment for agric extension officers is putting them at risk in line of their jobs.
We are at risk. We are afraid that as we go without those things, even we ourselves are at risk. So that is the reason why we are a little bit scared small.
The Peasant Farmers Association presented personal protective equipment including face masks, Veronica buckets, hand sanitizers, tissue papers, and other items to the District Department of Agric to complement the activities of its field officers. Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Well, speak about reliefs. $9 million has been injected into the tourism industry to boost growth following the harsh impact of COVID-19. Tourism Minister Barbara Otinjesi has indicated the money will be accessed by industry players hardly hit by the pandemic. The facility is being paid by the World Bank under the Ghana Tourism Development Project. She announced this at the COVID-19 presser today.
Of December, registered 100% occupancy. Arts and craft dealers at our arts center also reported a doubling of their sales in 2019 compared to the year 2018, as well as our car rental services, which registered increased patronage. However, the gains have been eroded by the coronavirus pandemic. In view of the devastating effects of the COVID-19 on the sector, government has introduced interventions to ameliorate the impact on businesses, and the tourism and hospitality sector is also going to benefit from these interventions. For instance, the stimulus package of 600 million Ghana cedis through the NBSSI to stimulate economic activity of businesses in the SME sector, as well as the 3 billion facility for larger businesses, will also benefit the operators in the tourism and hospitality sector.
And that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwao. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Goodbye.